righty roo, baby boo. Welcome to Glad You Game Pod.
Hi, guys.
You know, I think it's been like, we're episode 78. I think it's been like probably 30 episodes since we've done like the cold open. Like the one where it's like,
the one where you let me
welcome
speak
to Glad You
and
Game
then you cut me off.
Pod. Yeah. Like, it's just so much harder now, just how we set up with the video. It was easier when it was audio because I could just flip it on. But now since we have the whole other station to set up the video,
Yeah, you kind of know like
it's
when you
pretty
are
obvious.
not going.
And I kind of say like, hey, we're live. Just so Sage can like not continue saying like racist shit. So like
All the time, man.
I'm kidding. But I love how Sage was like, yeah, I'm not working. So I think my mic looks fine. Yeah, all we can see is right there. So we look good. All right. Let's do the
Yeah.
the YouTube check. The tubers.
I did it. We're on. We're good. We're
You did?
looking fantastic.
Like it, love it. Want more of it. Spider-Man trailer came out. So pumped. And
I'm not even going to watch it. I'm
not going to watch the movie?
Oh, I'm going to watch the movie. I'm not going to watch the trailer. I
They
am still so
edited out a
pissed
ton, I'm guessing.
that I did not get to see Dune in IMAX.
It's, well, you can watch it in IMAX. It is so good, though. I mean, well, at least you saw it, though. I think that's the important part. Because they officially got part 2. And I think they're going to do the same thing where they have to approve part 3 if part 2 does successful. I think they won't buy in.
They're not going to do anymore. Like, Dune is such a whack job, freaking.
But they have to do 3 to finish that storyline, though, is the problem. So
3. I don't think.
yeah, Dennis Villeneuve, like the director and writer, was like, yeah, we have to do 3, but we're doing it the same way. Just like how 1 ends like on a complete cliffhanger. They did that because he wasn't approved to make 2 until the first weekend box office, which exceeded expectations. So now they're like, all right, we're going to try to do that. I feel like I'm like looking up. Maybe it's because of that. Oh, you know
Your
what?
Johnsky's lower.
This? I don't know. It
Your
just looks
camera.
like, oh. Yeah, but it's been that low for the last few times.
Yeah, and you look like you're looking up most of the time.
Oh. So you're saying if I go like this,
Then it'll look like you're looking at eye level.
yeah, I'll just hold it like this the entire time. I can't do that.
Yeah, that's wacky that they want to make 3. I just listened to the book, and
Well, the book, they only did like a third of the book, really, and they have to do like finish the first book and do the Messiah part, which is the second book. So they have to.
well, absolutely, the Messiah's. That's what I'm saying. That's a whole.
But that's quick. That's one movie. Okay, we'll finish that. So like that's why he's saying we have to do the 3 movies, but they're gonna do the same thing, which is like which is like almost kind of fine with me because it's like a fully planned production. Although this ends on like such a cliffhanger that it was like crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what happened in the first one, I guess. But I'm glad they're at least making 2, and I hope they put just as much of dedication, and it's just as well done and well received that they'll be allowed to do the third one and kind of finish up, Paul's storyline there and kind of get that, because it is cool to see. I mean, it's great. Okay, cool. I can just see it there. It is cool to see. So I mean, yeah, it's nice to like those things. I wish I think it's Warner Brothers, right? Yeah. I wish Warner Brothers would just come in and be like, just make them both back to back, because I feel like that's just generally easier scheduling wise.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got to wait another 2 years to do it, because like they're not going to start filming till this July 22, and then it's probably 24 is when that one's going to come out.
Yeah.
But if you like Lord of the Rings it or something, it's like, well, it could be 24, 25, because we're going to do all the filming at once, and then we'll release one year and one the following year, which is generally what they do. Yeah, when they do the back to back, because then like, all right, we still have time for post production on this. Yeah, but at least it's done. We don't, because from what I'm guessing is Timothée Chalamet is not going to get less work. And like and Zendaya is not going to get less work.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like
you can't.
It's
lock
almost
those
like better
guys
for
down
like
for
scheduling to be like just add the extra 2 months of filming and just do it. Yeah. But I get it. Well, either way, I'm just happy it's going to get made. So that's cool. But yeah, it is fucking awesome. It was great. And that Dune's kind of a game, so that's why it makes sense to talk about.
I did finally watch Free Guy.
You did?
Yeah.
I kept forgetting you didn't see it. I guess like I don't know why.
Yeah.
But anyways, did you like it? Did you like it?
I think I got turned off by Ready Player One.
Okay, it's very different than Ready Player One.
Absolutely.
He's like an NPC in it.
But like it kind of had that feel, that vibe, like looking at it, and it seemed like they were trying to like squish a lot of different people in it, but they did it in a better way. Like it was all like subtle. Where Ready Player One the whole time was like, haha, get it, haha, get it, haha, get it, and it's like, shut the fuck up, I get it.
I got it. Yeah,
yeah.
You're talking about like the meta references and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, they're just like little video game Easter eggs in the whole thing.
The end is like so obvious where they got bought by Disney. The last 20 minutes is like, now, like I think he even says like, oh, now that we're owned by Disney, I can get my lightsaber or something. He says something like that because they like re-edited it because originally it was like a Fox movie, and then Disney bought Fox, and then that was one of the movies that I guess was in the can. So, because he says like, now that we're owned by Disney, we can use it, and it's like Captain America's shield, and I like as Chris Evans is like, what the fuck, or like whatever. But I thought it was pretty good. I think I said it on here. It's like a fun movie. I remove myself from it. It's from a software engineer perspective. There's like a billion questions I had that I was like, don't make sense. But I was like, but I'll just try to like not have those. I tweeted that out on like the Glad You Game account. I think I was like, but I'm just gonna let that go because it was just like a fun popcorn. It was a fun popcorn movie. Like I'm just taking it for face value. It's Ryan Reynolds. Just gonna have a fun time, and
it was good.
Kind of seeing NPC's quote unquote life. Yeah, and that was kind of cool, and it had like a good moral, I guess, at the end.
It was pretty fun. I think the only like thing negative I have to say about it is that like
just shoving all
the pacing was a little off. That like it was playing so much time catching up with itself that once it hit, it was like, you're learning who this is, like what it's about, and then it's like fucking action.
Well, he like I love the level up montage because they were like, we have to get through a bunch. You're level 1, you got to be like level 150 or whatever the fuck it was. So they're let's get them up there. I think that
might have been what it was. Is like you're montaging through all the interesting stuff,
right? After
spending half an hour watching his normal day, which I get that you have to kind of lay that groundwork,
right? It's almost like Groundhog Day where you have to like set the same scene up over and over again. They're like, all right, you get it, because now you're gonna get the jokes when he starts fucking with things. When he orders a cappuccino instead of a latte, and they were like, and it's like, we created the singularity inside a video game. But it was fun. I'm glad you finally saw it. We watched Shang-Chi finally.
I am halfway through that.
Okay, it's on Disney Plus.
We popped it on and just got like super tired. So.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say bored. I was like, I thought it was really good, but no, it's very good. The ending is, it's like the most mystical ending. I guess they're really leaning into like, that. It's really good. I like Shang-Chi. Like the character, and I thought they did a very good job of
fight
him.
Scenes were awesome, at least the ones that I've seen.
That's what I was gonna say. Through. It was some of the. I like how it's like. Granted, I'm not like of Asian heritage, but to me, obviously, a white guy that has like no real understanding of that, but it seemed like they were doing a very good dedication to the culture of that, but also the fighting styles, because there's like 40, I swear to God, like 40 different fighting styles. And even, did you see when the mom and dad met?
Yeah,
that's pretty early. It's like in the forest or whatever. It's like kind of like reminiscent of like Crouching Tiger fighting, and then but then you kind of see more modern fighting aesthetic when he's like when it's I think it's Shimu, it's Simu is his first name.
Okay,
Simu. That feels like it's right? Simu.
I am bad with that.
Okay, so Shang-Chi. I know that one. That's the actor that played him. But anyways, but then you go to the scenes like in the bus, which I thought was like really well done and orchestrated. And I like how the guy's like, all right, I took some martial arts as a kid, so I'll grade this fight. And like, but like that, and then when he's like fighting, like basically every fight scene, he's almost like learning different styles, and it's just showing you different martial arts styles. Yeah. And I did take like karate and judo and some taekwondo as a kid, but like I was never that good and I didn't stick with it. But to the point where I learned some of the styles like very shittily, but they're all very different. And you could see like he was doing different unique styles, which I thought was really cool. And it was some of the best like hand-to-hand combat scenes I think I've seen in a long time, which it kind of needed to be, because it was like like this Shang-Chi like lean into like let's see some of the best martial arts that we can, because like that's what it felt like. And I thought the movie was really fun. The ending is great. The after credit scenes are there's two of them. So when you do watch it, it seems to be the same. They do mid credits and then end credits.
Yeah.
So it's mid credits. Mid credits is generally like the joking one, and then end credits is like that's gonna change XYZ. Which I just watched it and I completely.
Oh no, it's hard. Like there's so many of them, and like the way they are so disassociated with the movie that
yeah.
Yep.
But I think it takes place before the shows because it has nothing to do with the multiverse.
Okay.
And you kind of can see that because they don't even they're not. This feels very much like Marvel 2 years ago.
Okay.
Like Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like Black Widow was like very 2019. There was no multiverse. It's just like, here's our character's arc and story.
Yeah.
And I'm not like giving anything away by saying, but. And I think that's true because I think this came out in September. I can't remember where Loki ended because Loki's really what made the multiverse.
That kicks it off, yeah.
But obviously, I haven't seen Eternals, but I'm guessing that probably has something to do with that. And
yeah,
sure, Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
We were
and
like,
and we have Hawkeye this week.
We were about to go watch Eternals and then looked up like
Times
Rotten Tomatoes, and it's just
that's the first rotten like Marvel movie ever.
Yeah,
which is crazy. But it's crazy when they made like 24. It's like really one, and it's crazy that Thor 2 isn't. It's like 61, and the Dark World.
Yeah. No, because that one was terrible.
The Dark Thor.
Yeah.
But because everybody's like, what's the worst MCU movie? Generally, it's Thor 2, The Dark World.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's all like opinion, but like I generally agree with that just because it just didn't seem like it knew what it was doing. It was like before Marvel seemed to have a real plan.
Yeah.
And they're like. First one made a lot of money. It's kind of like, to me, the worst one's really Iron Man 2. I think Iron Man 2 sucked. But like compare like whenever it's like Thor 2, I'm like, they're just not good at twos. Like, exception of like, but only one I would say is different is Captain America, because I thought the first Captain America was terrible. But the second Captain America is Winter Soldier, which is excellent.
Yeah.
So it's like they almost are like, they learned like, okay. And that's also because it has the two brothers the Russo brothers who, did Civil War, then obviously Infinity War and Endgame. Like they clearly understand the characters and the beats and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited for Eternals, even though I know it's more of like I can wait for it.
Yeah.
Like I'll wait for Disney Plus, and it's really just I just kind of pause out all the stuff on Twitter so I don't see it. But I'm gonna have to see Spider-Man because it's just getting propped up to be this everybody. Spider-Man's always been the biggest property. We talk about it in video game episodes plenty of time. It's if you add up every superhero, like all their merchandise and everything combined, it's still like half of what Spider-Man makes annually.
Yeah,
and it's like from a global sense. So it's like obviously those movies they're gonna put massive budgets in. It's interesting to see what they're doing with the multiverse. The trailer didn't give too much away, but we don't know if they're all three in it to tell you. But
do not tell me anything.
No,
I don't
want
to do nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, you knew that
there's
already.
Only one in my mind. There's only.
Well,
one.
there is only one. They've
Good.
like everybody said that they don't. That's what I'm telling you. The trailers do not hint at any other Spider-Man. But I just hope there is, because I'm like, how amazing would it be to see all three of them at once?
Yeah.
But that's kind of the cool thing of like, well, find out. And because of that, because my brain is like, I think that might be a possibility, and how I love Spider-Man just like everybody else does, and that's so massive. That's like that one. I don't even think if I do wait for that, I don't think I'll be able to hide from that information.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying. I'm not like trying to. Is like I can hide from Eternals because I'm not sure if like that's not like hyped up that much. It'd be like hiding from like what happens in Endgame, like or Infinity War. Like after like 4 days, there's gonna be 1,000 memes that even if you don't know what it is, you'll just see them, right?
Yeah.
And so my concern is if they do something where they're all three in it, I'm not gonna get that like that reaction, and like it will just get ruined for me.
Yeah,
which is almost why I would like hope the trailer did that, just so I could be like, all right, now I can potentially wait because like at least I saw the scene that is what would piss me off. But obviously they didn't, and I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to go back. So I think December 17th, which is the opening day, I was like, all right. Now, I will say, I do want to see an IMAX, but I think I'll be lazy and I'll just go to Downingtown, like the Downingtown IMAX, because I'm just imagining like King of Prussia, and I'm like, I do not want to deal with all that shit. Like, or at least what it used to be. It was just so hectic. Like, especially getting tickets for it. It's like I'm pretty sure like day one I could get tickets for like a good time slot at the quote unquote IMAX at Downingtown, right? Because we live in PA for all our Denmark fans, and which is Pennsylvania, and the King of Prussia IMAX has a 70 millimeter IMAX, which a lot of like film people, including myself, would say that's like the true IMAX experience. Like the 70 millimeter, 190, 1.90 aspect
when you
ratio.
go on like IMAX's website and all the stuff they claim, that's that theater.
Well, yeah, but they list both, but they always have like, you can like check a box and be like, give me the 70 millimeter ones, and it cuts like there's like 600 IMAX theater, and if you click like 70 millimeter, it's like there's like 50 IMAX theater. I mean, King of Prussia is the only one in the state.
Did you know that they're dual projector even when it's not 3D?
I thought so. Yeah, does it have to handle the space?
It's I think one's more color biased and one's more detail biased.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Very cool. But like, and I know that, and the other one's not. The Downingtown one's not. But it's more of just like, I just think I can get better time. Like, I don't want to do the 3 a.m. movie. Is my problem. Like, I'm afraid like, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to get tickets to then because everybody's gonna want it. So it's like, but I'm pretty sure the other theater, it's like I could get a good one, and then it's like, all right, at least I've seen it once. They'll put it on Disney Plus, and I'll put. Love that they do the IMAX version of it because it makes a massive. Did you change the two versions at your house just to see?
No.
It's like when you go on Disney Plus and it's like it shows like related, then it's details, trailers, or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a new tab that says versions, and it'll say and anybody you can do it with. I'm pretty sure like you can do it on like your TV.
Yeah,
and it'll just kind of. It might not look as great just depending on the format of TV because normally most
I'll get black bars on the side instead of on the bottom.
Right, it will move your widescreen bars to the side. But you can do it.
My TV is big enough. I feel like it can.
Right, but the cool thing they do is to kind of give you an understanding. Is they show the picture. So like they have like a picture of like Black Widow or whatever, and it shows you the scene in widescreen and the scene in IMAX to be like, this is why you'd watch that. But they also note like it's 190 aspect ratio, which is the IMAX action. So they're like, you'll have no top and bottom bars, but if you don't have like an IMAX screen, it's going to have like there potentially could do.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, I mean, they would be like small. Like it's not like going to be, it's not going to be like Batman.
The old school like 4x3.
Or like the Zack Snyder. Remember the Zack Snyder
was
4:3, and it like had that for but yes, it's not gonna have the 4:3 bars where you feel like it's full screen. It's just gonna be basically the widescreen bars are gonna be on the side, like that same length most likely. To me, it's worth it because you do see so much more, and it's cool that it shows you like a fight scene and then a fight scene with it, and you can kind of see like there's so much more happening.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not missing like plot points. It just it just feels like more. That's why you go to the IMAX theater because you feel like more, and you can see what you're missing. So, anyways, there's a whole other thing. Games are starting to support it too, like the Guardians of the Galaxy game. But
that's cool.
It is worth. But yeah, we went on a whole Marvel thing, which is, I mean, whatever. Marvel's tons of the games, right? One of the games we're going to talk about is Guardians of the Galaxy. So Marvel's related, but that was a lot of info. We kind of just blurred out. So I guess. But yeah, you'll like. Let me know when you finish it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And then I guess if you aren't going to see Eternals in theaters, then you can just come here. We'll watch that because I'm not going to either. I'm betting it's got to come out on Disney Plus before Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah,
because I bet they want people to see it. Like I have no idea what's in Eternals. My guess is because it released before.
Doing an ensemble film with people that have no backstory.
Well, it is supposed to be the backstory. I know it like goes from the past.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do 9 people's backstory in one 2-hour movie. That's
they're fitting a lot in, and I'm sure it's like very exposition heavy is my guess. Like
there has to be.
But I knew I never I like the Eternals, but I knew I never was going to see that in theaters. That was always my Disney Plus, and I've been able to stay away from it. Maybe it's because of Rotten Score or whatever. I just haven't heard a ton about it, which I'm glad about. I've heard that it has 2 credit scenes, but mid credits, end credits is kind of just pretty much expect it. It's weird. It's basically like more weird if it doesn't.
Yeah.
At this point, right? So, I'm hiding from that. My only concern is like, it better be on Disney Plus before Spider-Man in case there is something that like, because they do it like almost like a TV show where they're unrelated, but if you see this, you'll get that.
Yeah.
I do know that Hawkeye will, which comes out, which is only 6 episodes. First 2 episodes start next Thursday. Nice. So, and then it's just, the 4 after that.
All
so
right.
24th. Is that Thursday?
Yeah.
Wednesday, sorry. Yeah. When's the 24th? 24th is maybe, it's the 24th. So whenever that day is that Wednesday or Thursday? Whatever. Okay. I'm just like we're all like checking really quickly.
What's the calendar? Pull up calendar. 24th is Wednesday. So
okay.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Next, yeah. So they're doing the first 2, and then after that, it's every Wednesday, which I think leads right up to Spider-Man because they're going to do 4.
Oh.
Because they're putting 2 out, and then it's 4. And is the week that ends, because December 17th is Spider-Man when it comes out. So is the 15th, which I'm guessing on Wednesday, is that 4 Wednesdays from then? No, that can't be because that'll be like a full month.
No, yeah. It's,
do you have the calendar up?
Yeah,
Right.
so...
Because I would assume they would try to line up Hawkeye with like, oh, Spider-Man's coming out.
I'd like to assume.
Because because it's Marvel. Because they like line up everything.
When's it come out?
December 17th. Spider-Man, is that
No,
what you're talking about?
It's 3 weeks. So there'll be 5 episodes out.
Well, unless they double up. They said the first
finale.
week is going to be 2, but maybe they'll double it up because that just seems like you're leading into it. Now, maybe it has nothing to do with it, but all this stuff feels like it's very tied together because it generally is.
Yeah.
Like there'll be an after credit scene in Hawkeye that's like, oh shit, we're seeing Spider-Man in 2 days. Like,
Yep.
that's the only thing. So anyways, long transition, but speaking of Marvel, we got some Game Awards information to go off of, and you're like, what does that have to do with anything? Well, because Guardians of the Galaxy is nominated for some fucking Game Awards, mainly what I talked about last week. It's up for Best Narrative, as in the best story, which I believe it was last episode. We canceled an episode 2 weeks ago, and I blamed this game. Then I talked about it felt like a lot, but I don't know, a good chunk of time, and I was like, the story is so good, and you were saying how the characters felt like very vibrant, like very like the films, which I would consider both films to be some of Marvel's better content.
Yeah, and that's me watching for 10 minutes.
Right, but you felt like the character and like the story is real. So I've played a lot more. I'm pretty sure I'm at like the end or close to it. And it's just a very neatly tight woven story. That I like, that is just a very, very well done. So Adam Warlock's in it, which is really cool to see. Who's also going to be in the 3rd movie. But yeah, it was nice to see that. I have no water today, so I'm just going dry mouth. It's terrible. It was nice to see that actually get nominated, because I think that kind of catches people by surprise when I was like, it's better than Avengers. It's not up to Spider-Man level. So I'll tell you right now, it's not up for Game of the Year, okay? But it is up for Best Narrative, which means, like I said, there's some stuff they could fix and make better in a sequel.
Yeah.
They could make it feel a little more tight. Maybe there's open world kind of areas, kind of like God of War, like you were saying. But the story is something they don't need to change. Like me make a new fucking story. But the writing, keep those writers on because they know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
So Best Narrative does actually, I think every game on Best Narrative, exception of 2 are nominated for Game of the Year. This is one of the 2. So Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you want so I don't think Sage has seen this list yet, right? You were about to pull it up and I was like, just don't, because that way I can. All right, so
My guess is it's going to have
do you want me to guess?
one
You can
game
guess or
that I've
just tell me?
played,
Okay.
and that's about it.
I can tell you 2 of these games are going to be quite common. One is going to surprise you, but you'll be happy. And one is going to be like, oh, I remember you saying that about. Well, actually, the other one you might be happy about because it was one that you wanted to play. but I'll just tell them all. And we can kind of go into each one. So I'll do best narrative since we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's best narrative. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. Psychonauts 2, which I don't know if you ever played the first one. It was a long time in between the two.
That's what I thought.
Like 17 years or some shit.
I didn't even know that they came out with another one.
But, oh yeah, it was a big deal. It looks great. I haven't played it yet. It is on Game Pass, so I will be playing it, but it looks great. I just was like, it's kind of Ratchet and Clanky, I guess, but like darker.
Yeah, and it has like a real weird art style, right?
Yeah, very interesting art style. I would say the art style is closer to, I don't know, a different game. Yeah, sure. Yeah, actually, yeah, that would be, yeah, exactly. Sylvester Stallone's like hiding in the back. So that, and then also to note, Xbox plus Bethesda got the most nominations with 20, but they do designate it, which I still find funny because they've owned it for over a year. It's not Xbox Game Studios, which is what they call their umbrella.
Yeah,
it's Xbox plus Bethesda. So Bethesda, for some reason, still stands separately. Now,
yeah,
I think that's because I don't know why. Because every time they're mentioned, actually, they're always mentioned separately, even though they're under that umbrella. Like Santa Monica Studios, if they get nominated or something like that, or Ben, it's just Sony. Which, by the way, Sony's in second with 11 nominations. But I thought that was interesting. So I'm glad Xbox is getting, some of the nominations now. Ironically, they technically have PlayStation to thank for most of their nominations, but it's really the Bethesda part. Another best narrative game is Deathloop, which is made by Bethesda, exclusive to Sony. Bethesda's under Xbox Game Studios; they get the nominations.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Life is Strange: Two Colors is also a best narrative game. I love the original. Love the Life is Strange game. They're always really well done. And the last best narrative is It Takes Two.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, wow. It's, full circle. So we can kind of get into some of these, but I'll go up to just Game of the Year because that's what this is just going to trend into as well. And Game of the Year is Deathloop, It Takes Two,
nice,
Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and
Deathloop, or did you already say that?
I did. What would my vote be? We had
Resident Evil.
Bang. We had one of the sisters on this podcast.
Yep.
Resident Evil Village.
Was she narrated? Or was she nominated? Becca?
I don't think so, but we can check.
That'd be cool.
No, but Maggie Robertson was, who's Lady Dimitrescu. We both know, if you listen to that episode, I can't fucking say it.
Dimitrescu.
Demetrius. Is that what it is?
I'm pretty sure. We can go back and refer to the episode.
and Giancarlo Esposito got nominated. He's the bad guy from Breaking Bad that's in Far Cry 6.
Yep.
And it's like, as soon as they put him in the game, I was like, he's going to get, he's so good.
Absolutely.
But Juliana Blake, which is, her real name is Amazon, Ozim. Oh, wait, no, I can't even spell it right. Ozioma. Ozima Agaha.
I would need to see that written.
Ozima Agaha, Akagha. Juliana Blake. Juliana Blake from Deathloop was nominated. So she was excellent in that. So was Jason E. Kelly, who's Colt Vaughn from Deathloop. So both main protagonist, antagonist, depending on where you are in the story, are nominated for Deathloop, which is great.
That's awesome.
So you see both, but also Resident Evil. Congrats. I think this is definitely, since the Game Awards existed, that Resident Evil's got nominated for this high quality of awards. I'm pretty sure it's the first time it's ever been up for a Game of the Year. But I'm fucking pumped. That is, I voted. So, all right, we got asked to vote. I voted for Resident Evil Village. It was, and I'm not gonna lie, Deathloop was close. I was thinking about X-Takes 2, and you can vote for that yourself if you want, because they have the fans voting.
It Takes Two.
Ratchet
I'm
and Clank
already
is
not
also
on
like
board
really good.
for, I feel like that's not the best narrative. Like,
Whoa,
I
this is
I
unexpected.
I enjoy it, but like the whole thing is just like interrupted by this book with an accent that's giving you like love advice, and
because they're going through divorce.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, I need to see how it like all comes together, but like it's a little disjointed. It's like broken up a little too much with terrific gameplay,
Right.
but it bounces back.
But you don't
and
like the story because the narrative, it is nominated for best.
I
game.
still like it.
Right.
I just I'm not blown away by it. I'm
So
like,
it's not-
holy
it's-
shit,
you-
this
yeah.
couldn't have been told. And yeah, it's
I was not expecting to hear that, so it's not going to surprise you. Like I would bet it's not going to win.
yeah.
Best
And
narrative.
it's also just like a very non-video game centric story anyway.
But maybe that's why they did it because it's like
Yeah, so
emotional and real.
I admire what they went for, and I think the gameplay executed everything freaking perfectly. And that's the other thing too, is like if you're just talking about an emotional arc, especially if you're playing with your significant other, like
Yeah.
we're learning shit as we go, kind of thing.
Which
So,
is very interesting. So I
Yeah.
mean that's, and we can see what else it's nominated for quite a bit.
yeah,
like
I know how
definitely-
loud Casey screams now.
well, Shane couldn't figure that out with sex, but it's all right. It's okay. We'll give you a book. But it is nominated for a few things, not just those. And we'll go over that because, and I say this important to Sage, if you're just here or Denmark, you didn't see the Halloween pictures. I don't know. And I'm saying Denmark. We're also up in Russia now too,
All right.
which I don't know if I really care that we're up in Russia, but the Denmark is like, all right, we'll get some Deutsch bags up in here, right? Or is that like really mean to them?
Who knows? I don't.
I don't know. Tweet
not
us
Denmarkian.
and let me know. Let me know. I'll not say. I'll still say it, but anyways, so Deathloop. So when I was looking at Game of the Year, so it's Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village. I have played Deathloop, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village. Pretty much beat all three. I've beat Village almost twice now. It Takes Two you played. Metroid Dread I did not get the chance to play, and I fucking hate that. But that's the one that fucking that dumbass blog that people were taking seriously. That pretends it's not a blog, but it is. Kotaku was like telling people how to legally download and things up for fucking Game of the Year, and you're stealing money out of these despots. And it's like, look at the work they made.
Yeah.
And they didn't nominate it because Kotaku wrote that art. It's,
Yeah.
they did it because it deserves this recognition.
I watched like a thing of it on Game Maker's Toolkit, and he like dove into like how the level design was, where it didn't have that thing where you got lost as much as you did in the old games.
Right.
Where it was like a lot of clever design where stuff was like placed where it should be, and like getting tools at exactly the right moment that you needed, and using those tools to get back to a spot that you didn't even know you were traveling to.
Right.
That puts you at a portal that goes to the next level that you need. It's just like really intelligent design where you can go anywhere you want, but you naturally are like led toward the places that you need to be.
Which I love stuff like that. I mean, I still think the best level design in any game ever is probably Bloodborne. And I know that that's probably like, from what I've seen, that's generally like a pretty normal take. Because it is like so next level, and how everything connects to central points in that.
That's cool.
That you like fight through, and then you realize you're on the other side of the map, and you open this door. And then you're like, oh, fuck, that's the bonfire I was at like 7 hours ago. And it's just, it's crazy when they can figure that out and make it all connect. And then Psychonauts 2, like I said, it's been years and years in the making. It's great to see it. Now, so I can't really say it should be Metroid Dread or Psychonauts 2 because I haven't played them, right? But I'm just very, and I'm saying Resident Evil Village because I love it. But it's a lot for Resident Evil. And not that Resident Evil is shitty games, but it's a horror game that's kind of more action horror game that did so much well and so much inventive. It's multi-platform, right? Just like It Takes Two, which I find to be more interesting when a multi-platform game gets this kind of recognition, because Deathloop exclusive, they're honing in on one. It's saying this game is, the experience in the game is good on anything, right?
Yeah.
They're not just trying to leverage aspects for a specific console, like Psychonauts 2 would be, or Metroid Dread. So that's kind of, and like even Ratchet and Clank, which is amazing, but it's like you have to handle so much more shit because it's going to operate differently. Now, obviously, Game of the Year is like the gameplay, the narrative, like everything. It's a combination, right? It's best picture, right? This is the award, period. Like everybody wants, the writers want the narrative award and stuff, but really the studio's like, we want Game of the Year, right? We want best picture.
Yeah, you can slap it on the front of the box and put it
and
up.
it's like, we are the Game Award. And there's
the front of the download screen.
Yeah, and there's tons of game awards, like there's hundreds of them. But I do like that Jeff Keighley has really made the Game Awards, and really it has been the last 4 or 5 years, been building and building. It is respected and accepted as being the Oscars of gaming. Like the Game Awards is the like there's like, you know, TGF, we have other award shows, but everybody's like, oh, that's cool, they won that. They won Best of Show at E3. The PC Mag Game of the Year, whatever. They won that. Game of the Year, the Game Awards, which is why it's called the Game Awards. Really is taking the cake, and I love, you know, G4 just came back yesterday, right? And officially, channel's back on the air as of yesterday.
That's awesome.
So I'm sure it's going to probably air in there. I don't know that for sure, but I would bet it's going to. But it's nice to see. So I do appreciate that we now have an Oscars of gaming, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of nice to be like, all right, what is the game of the year? It's like, this is what we're going to look at. So all of these games are fucking awesome in their own right. Even though I didn't play Psychonauts 2 and Metroid Dread, I'm sure I would love them, right? They didn't get this nomination from some bullshit. Last year, Last of Us Part 2 won this, right? Took it on, and it deserved it. I think Deathloop's going to win because it's just so innovative, that game. It's so well done. Good characters are so good. I'm also seeing a lot of the stuff I saw with Last of Us 2. It's up for Game of the Year. It's up for narrative. It's up. Both actors are up for, you know, their acting. It's up for like music and sound. You can kind of tell like which one might be Game of the Year when it's getting nominated in like every fucking category.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Like, to be honest, I was completely surprised when I saw Village here and ecstatic. I would love Village to win. I don't think it will. But I love that it's just getting the honor of being nominated because it's just being like, we're an Oscar-nominated movie or an Oscar-nominated, even though technically, you know, Eminem's an Oscar-winning actor because he won for
8 Mile.
But he won for 8 Mile. My watch is going off. My watch is like trying to disagree. I'm like, no, it's true. And was that there's some really shitty movie that actually won? Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad. The original Suicide Squad movie won an Oscar for like a sound. I think it was like a soundtrack or something like that.
Interesting.
Which is, but yeah, that doesn't really happen in. I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah, Suicide Squad became an Oscar-winning movie for makeup and hairstyling. Is an Oscar-winning movie, so which is kind of crazy. But anyways. So I've told you all of them. I've played Ratchet and Clank till the end, Deathloop to the end, Resident Evil to the end. If I had to pick, I would say Village, but it's just from my heart. But really from gameplay, it's Village drops off. It's Ratchet and Deathloop. And then if I'm thinking of something that's really never been done and very innovative and kind of game-changing and like kind of pushing gaming to another level, not to take anything away from Village, I think it's Deathloop. I mean, it just to me it's just Deathloop. I'm curious so my assumption is you were going to fight me on this. Say it takes two.
Oh no, Deathloop.
But so even you, okay, because I just know you have love for it. But it's kind of like
love for it, but it's
like my
a
love for
specific
Village
game.
when I'm like,
Probably.
it sounds like that where it's like I can kind of separate. It's like I love it, but Deathloop is. It's like when you watch all these movies, you're like this is my favorite, but I know this is what should win.
And it's like the major once you start like nitpicking the tiniest amount where it's like you see all these reviewers talking about like Deathloop, like the slapping mechanic is overpowered and the ragdoll like based on that.
Oh,
It's
I love
like
that.
if you're nitpicking on that stuff and can't say anything bad about the game like outside of that.
Right. It's like it's too hard, but that's also kind of like the game is kind of surreal.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, well, the slap is fine then.
Yeah.
It's not like no one is playing this and be like, this is real life.
Yeah. I have also seen that it's super hard to play as the girl.
Juliana. It is
That, like, the
if you
matchmaking's
jump
terrible.
into someone else's game, because I've never died from a Juliana. I've had them go in a bunch of my games, and if you kind of like, because you can kind of trick them, but she can decoy herself to look like other people.
Okay.
But if you have like, I have this one gun where it's like 3 shots, so like if they don't have that same gun, I'm going to win every time.
Yeah.
And so like, so yeah, but I don't really consider that even part of the game. That's more of like an add-on feature.
Yeah.
It's not really part of the main story.
But that they sold it as that.
Right. They sold it as like you can jump in other people's games and like fuck up their story,
Yeah.
which is part of the campaign because there's an NPC version that does that. But so like that part is true, and sometimes just not an NPC, it's just a person. But so that's part of the story. But Juliana's arc is very much part of the campaign mission too. She's very much, is she a protagonist? Is she an antagonist? You know, play the game, find out. Maybe I'll ruin it in like 2 weeks, but I'll wait because games take a little bit longer than movies to watch, right? So, but yeah, so that's, but everything else it does, and with the time loops and everything, it's just, I don't know, it's just very innovative, and it did a lot of crazy shit, but it did everything so well that it's like kind of deserve, which is why it's getting recognized. It's just like, this is amazing. And Xbox players should be happy, even though this is exclusive to Sony. I'm sure there'll be a sequel. You own Bethesda. They only did this because they had to honor a contract. Deathloop 2, probably, will at minimum be multi-platform, but potentially exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, you know, I'm sure there'll be something, or they'll make a deal where Deathloop is not going to be exclusive to Sony anymore, so Sony can get a multi-plat Deathloop 2 or something like shit. Some shit like that. Like they'll work out a deal, and I think they should.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, so big game of the year. It sounds like we're in agreement. That goes right to game direction. Deathloop, It Takes Two. It Takes Two and Deathloop are pretty much in every fucking one.
Oh yeah. This is one that I actually think that It Takes Two could win
Okay.
because
Oh wait, hold on. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank. All right, now go. Well, I just wanted to make sure you knew all of the players.
So
It Takes Two, Studio.
he's like,
Nice. Published by.
yeah.
Oh, are you looking at it?
Yes.
Oh, God damn it. All right, sorry.
So like there are so many wacky ideas that are just so well executed in this that like it's I guess it's hard to say too, like that a direction isn't the same thing as it is on movies, and it's hard to say like,
And we just had that conversation the other couple episodes ago.
It's hard to say like how much is specifically direction and then
How much
other
code.
kind of design and create whatever, but like there's this whole scene that takes place inside a tree where a bunch of squirrels are like conscripting you to fight against these like hornets that have set up a nest inside the tree, which is just like the goofiest ass thing.
Right.
But they got like an actor to be like this freaking general, like badass, like scarred face, like really playing like someone who's like fucking pissed and ready to have you like fight all these bees, and like they just lean in on every freaking aspect, and it's so good.
So it kind of pulls you in, like from the jokey area of what it's discussing. It pulls you in with the seriousness of like of the characters,
and like it's still jokey, but it's like kind of like almost satirical type thing where some of the best scary movie type stuff where it's like it's still a joke movie, but there are like legitimately scary and legitimately well acted parts and directed parts in that movie.
Oh yeah. And that's why the first one's good.
Yeah.
And the second one's good. And they kind of like fall off. But like further, it's like it's slapstick comedy, but like some stuff is done. It's like there's good directors or actors in there that are like making a real scene.
Yeah.
Like that like if it wasn't in the movie, scary movie, you'd be like, that was really good.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And they do switch tone well. Like
Yeah.
the going into like some of the more emotional stuff, it's
yeah,
like
it's
holy
about,
shit. It does like go back and forth. I don't think like the writing's there to really drive it home for narrative, but I think the direction's fantastic.
shitting on those writers, man. You're pounding on that house. Does you know what? Take it off. It's not Jeff. It's no longer should be nominated. Fuck that game.
No, they did a good job. They just didn't do an
So
excellent
you would be
job, and that's what
surprised
you
if that
need.
won for best narrative.
I would.
That's
I think
I
it's
think
worth
Deathloop
the
is gonna-
narration. Or,
yeah.
Why do I keep saying it? Nomination.
nomination. I was like, yeah. All right, fair enough. I mean, I would want Guardians to win it, but I think Deathloop is going to be. I think Deathloop is this year's Last of Us. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's going to clean
Guardians
everything
isn't even on here.
for narrative. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. But
I think
direction.
No, it's direction. I think Deathloop is going to take everything it's nominated for. I love that Returnal's in it because Returnal's are really unique. You have to like, it's a really specific, type of roguelike game that you have to like. It's niche, but then again, so is Hades last year, and Hades was competing with Last of Us Part 2, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two big heavy hitters. But those are, and which is kind of crazy that it's like we're almost seeing the same thing with Deathloop being from the AAA studio and then a smaller studio with It Takes Two. It's kind of like, hey, I'm right there with you again, which is kind of like that because Hades was a smaller studio as well.
Yeah.
I think game direction, I can see the argument for most of these games. I think it's Deathloop because there's so much in the narrative that is really fucked up, and the story that you uncover is very interesting. It gets you involved. The only one that I think kind of could be, I think Guardians has a legitimate chance in narrative because the story is so well done and they weaved it so well, getting the characters' voices and also making it emotionally compelling with all this ridiculous shit happening.
Yeah.
Which is what Deathloop does as well. That I think it has a chance, and the beats are really, really tight.
Nice.
Like it feels tight. Game direction, yeah. So I think Deathloop is going to take game direction. I do like that Returnal's there. I love Ratchet and Clank. To be honest, I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. I like that it's nominated. I do think. So best indie is another one I want to talk about. So I played 2 of these, 12 minutes, which I talked about in depth, I think, and Kina. Bridge of Spirits. Death Store, I did not play. Loop Hero, I did not play. Inscription, I did not play. Kina is going, anything Kina is nominated for is going to win. It is, Sony has basically reinvented Zelda as a Sony exclusive, right? Because Zelda's like a Nintendo exclusive, right? And there's not like really been a Zelda competitor that's like in that kind of same, it's RPG, but it's kind of like childlikey, so it's like you don't feel super intense, but the characters in the world is so nice that you want to dive in. It's like Nintendo does this very well, that it's like all ages can play in, but they deal with intense stuff, but they present it in a lighter way. Now I will say Kina has some darker story beats than I've really seen in Zelda, but then again, as noted on the spot, I haven't really played a ton of Zelda, so maybe it does that and I just don't know. And I did play all 12 minutes, which is completely dark the entire time.
Yeah.
Not from a brightness perspective. A story perspective is insanely fucked up.
The way you were talking about that, I'm surprised that wasn't in the direction.
That's so that actually did surprise me that for best game direction, but it's just maybe because it's just it's so like open ended that like I feel like you almost have to be linear, which all of these games are.
Okay.
I feel like open world games, it's hard to have like the direction because you're kind of like directing it yourself.
Yeah.
It's like not that there aren't cutscenes, there's not story beats to the missions that can be, but there's a lot of unplanned events that really drive most of your gameplay. That's why I think maybe that's what it is. And because 12 minutes is kind of like quote unquote open world in this 3-room set, I think maybe that's why. I don't know. Long story short, I really think Kina is winning best indie. It's up for best debut indie. Yep. Which I thought was really weird that 12 12 Minutes is nominated for Best Indie, but not Best Debut Indie.
Weird.
Which is also its debut. Is it because it's not going to be a franchise? Like debut feels like, oh, it's the first of many, right? It's the first time we've seen this first one. And I guess you have to be a franchise to do that. Valheim is also huge, though. Valheim is huge.
And this is debut.
Debut indie. Valheim is huge. I know Rubber Ducky loves that game. But I think that's there. I mean, best ongoing. It's the same fucking list we see every year. It's Fortnite, Genshin Impact. Well, Genshin Impact might be new, but Warzone, Final Fantasy, Apex. I do not fucking care who wins this award.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Call of Duty. If I had to guess, or Fortnite. Actually, it's probably Fortnite because they do like the concerts and shit like that.
Yeah, I guess there's something to be said for that.
It's like outside of just the general, like we've updated.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm surprised it's not there. Is how am I brain farting on this? Valorant.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So best art direction. This is where it gets interesting. Deathloop, Kina's on this one. Deathloop, Kina, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Artful Escape. You're putting two indies in art direction. Indies fucking pride themselves on having wild art direction, mainly because they have smaller teams. So they can't compete on the graphics level generally.
Yeah.
But their art direction can, so it's so unique that it brings you in regardless. Not that they look like shit. My point is they know where they go.
I'm gonna say Kina for that.
Yeah, we should. You know what we should do for this, because I think it's like
track.
December is well. Oh, okay.
Watch it.
Well, you were gonna watch. I want to say Deathloop because I really think it's just gonna dominate. This feels like a Psychonauts 2. I feel like they're gonna have to give Psychonauts 2 something. This feels Psychonauts 2.
All right.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So no, I was gonna say obviously we should watch it, but last year we FaceTimed during the whole thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
We should live stream just us watching it.
Yeah.
And we just do that, and that'll be the episode is us reacting. It'll be long because it's like a 3-hour show. Remember? And it's like we'll do drinks. We'll bring back the old school way of the podcast, where we'll just be having some brews and shots and watching video. Well, we never did that, but we'll do that at that time. Because I think that'll be our live reactions will be fun for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you were keeping track. So I'll say Psychonauts 2 for art direction.
Okay.
Best score in music. Guess what got fucking nominated? Cyberpunk 2077 got a nom at the Game Awards after all that shit talk.
All right.
Because no matter how bad the game was, and it wasn't bad, it's actually it's very playable now, for the record.
Yeah.
But how poor of a launch it has, and it clearly should have just waited.
Before we dive into this, best narrative.
Oh, we didn't do that. Oh,
we didn't guess or give our.
What do you think? Do you want to? How are we doing this? You go, then I go, or I go? Then you go?
We've been kind of just going back and forth.
I think it's Deathloop.
Say. I'll go Guardians just to switch it up.
Okay, so we're not allowed to agree. Is that what we're saying too?
Oh, we're allowed to. I just don't feel like strongly about Deathloop.
Gotcha. Okay, I wasn't sure if it's like because that way it's like we can have like. Well, no, we can. Are you recording all of it? So I'll take Deathloop for that. I mean, like I just could see Deathloop just sweeping everything, and it's like I'm like art direction. I could definitely say, but I'm like, no, let's throw something else. Psychonauts 2, make it fun. I mean, it's up for fucking music. It's Deathloop composer. Cyberpunk. I love that this is nominated. It deserved it. Near Replicant. I'm not reading the entire version number. Guardians of the Galaxy. Another one. And Artful Escape. I've played 1, 2, 3 of these. You know, this the Cyberpunk music is very unique. And I don't really feel super strongly that it would win. I almost just want to say it because like I want it to get a award.
Yeah, it's the only chance it has.
Fuck it, I'll do Cyberpunk. Let's make it
All right.
make it worth it.
See, that's what I think I feel like I'm missing with these. Is it's not that I don't know. I feel like all these games are just like solid like you're just solid games, but I think it doesn't live up to at least the hype Cyberpunk wanted. It doesn't live up to Spider-Man 2. It doesn't live up to Last of Us. Like,
where we did, there is no Last of Us this year. There is no like Last of Us was like holy fuck. I just which like does give it credit because Last of Us did win everything it got nominated for pretty much. Last of Us and Hades were fucking monsters. They were behemoths dominating the awards landscape.
Yeah,
and they deserve so. Yeah. I think Deathloop kind of is that though. I think it's people are forgetting because it kind of came out like it's like a recency bias. Like people are like, isn't that great? It's been a while. It is that great. Like it was that great. I just think score and music. I think this is the stuff where it could lose. But I agree with you that like when you played that, you were like, this is like. Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece. It was a groundbreaking game.
Yeah.
Nothing was getting near that. Period.
It's what Cyberpunk should have been.
Right. And it's what it wanted to be. And then unfortunately did not end up, we just didn't get the game that we were promised.
They just stumbled on release and that was it.
Like it's like delayed another year and we'd be talking about next Game Awards most likely.
But that's the thing is, does it even count for next Game Awards?
No, it won't unless they're going to call it an ongoing game.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll go Cyberpunk for this one because it's the only chance I'll get to vote for it, I think.
All right. Audio design.
Well, you didn't say who you wanted for score and music.
Oh, Deathloop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was purposely not doing. I agree though. Deathloop is probably gonna. I want to know that I think it's probably gonna win.
I want to get one more right than you in this whole thing, and for that to be the deciding factor.
It probably will. Well, I'll put it on the record. I'm doing this just because I want Cyberpunk to win something.
Yeah, I'll put it on the record. You still lose if that's the case.
Yeah. Best audio design.
So we have Deathloop, Forza 5,
which I don't know about,
Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal.
3 PlayStation exclusives on this one.
I am gonna go Forza Horizon 5.
It does feel like the car game would have like incredible audio design. I will say, see the thing about Deathloop is, it's not it does have a lot of interesting audio, but it's not weaving everything in. I don't know. To me, this is more Ratchet. Resident Evil, Returnal. Actually, you know what? Horror games, they're all about audio design. Let's go Village.
All right.
And I think that logic actually makes sense because their whole thing is about just like cars. Yeah. It's like it's all about that, which I get is why you picked that.
I have a feeling Ratchet and Clank is going to be.
I think I'm really downplaying Ratchet and Clank. I agree
because that's one game where there is so much shit going on.
Yeah,
and like you do not realize how much information you're taking in just from the audio.
We should just fucking call it.
Because if you put that shit on mute, like
everything's gone.
Yeah, you cannot understand what the fuck is going on with that.
Yeah,
explosion of color and shit.
We should call John and be like, be like, all right. I'm sure he would say the Foley's probably the best on Ratchet. If he had a choice, we should call him and be like, just for the audio, and be like, which one do you think is going to win this?
Yeah.
Best performance.
I'm surprised that 12 minutes isn't in here.
Yeah, I know. Fucking.
So the ones that are, I mean, you can go through them.
Yeah, I kind of is. So it's Life is Strange, and it's Erica Mori as Alex Chen. Life is Strange, True Colors. Giancarlo, which I'm pretty sure is how it's pronounced. Giancarlo. Yeah. Esposito as Anton Castillo, Far Cry 6. Jason E. Kelly, it's called Von Deathloop. Maggie Robertson as Lady Dimitrescu, Resident Evil Village. And this is I tried to say this earlier in the episode. Ozima Agaha.
I'm going Ozioma Akaga.
Okay. And none of this is said as a joke. I don't know how to fucking pronounce things. As Juliana Blake, Deathloop. Here's the thing. I think Erica Mori has a real shock because the Life is Strange games are like these really intense emotional stories.
Yeah.
That like have a lot of peaks and valleys, and it's generally a lot of despair. So you're kind of putting your acting chops like to bring that emotion in. I mean, Giancarlo isn't Giancarlo like didn't he win like Emmys for Breaking Bad? I'm sure, right?
I would assume so.
For the El Pollo Loco guy, yeah. Like
that's who my guess is.
Right. It almost feels like it has to be him, right? But a lot of Deathloop, like a lot of it, is the conversation between Colt and Juliana. And I love Lady Dimitrescu. So I love Resident Evil Village. She's in the game 5 fucking minutes. It is wild to me that she's nominated for this.
That's what I almost feel like Becca's the one that people were talking about more.
Right. Like that I mean, to me at least she has the famous
the staying power, those famous lines, the
one that you have the trailer lines and stuff, they used her. Now, they also used ladies as well, but I think that was a big part of it. I do think there is.
Yeah. But that being said, she kind of held the whole thing together, like all the sisters and stuff like that. And
yeah,
there's a reason they used like exclusively that for the trailer, where everyone thought they were going to be taking place solely inside this house.
Right. And it was the first 4 hours, 5 hours of the game. I think with all that, I'll tell you who I'm between. It's between Erica and Juliana Blake. And I'm gonna go with Juliana Blake, Deathloop.
Okay. Ozioma.
Games for Impact. Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon. I have to look up the fuck.
That's definitely an impact.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Our girlfriends are both like listening to this podcast, like, ooh, what is that?
No.
Oh my God. I mean, the artwork of this is
what's it called? Boyfriend Dungeon?
Yeah. Look up Boyfriend Dungeon. We're now just in Boyfriend Dungeon is a dungeon crawler sim indie game developed and published by Kid Fox Games. Taking place in an urban fantasy setting, the player must fight through dungeons with the help of a human partner who can transform into a sentient weapon.
By the way, dungeons in quotations are like nightclubs and lounges.
Yeah, right. Outside of the dungeons, the player can date their partner in a visual novel style sequences that increase their power in combat. So the more romantic connection I guess you have, the stronger you are in the fight. And you're probably just beating the shit out of ex-boyfriends, I'm guessing. It was released on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PC in August. The plot, the main character whose gender is selectable lives in Verona Beach, a city in a contemporary fantasy world where monsters pose a danger to people. The player fights in dungeons known as dungai in the world's slang, using weapons created from transformed humans or other creatures. The weapons can be dated. So you date your weapon, which is a person. They transform into a sentient weapon. So the weapons can be dated to increase their power, although the game also contains a platonic, in quotes, relationship with a cat. The personalities of the weapons of the weapon characters are based on their weapon type. I have no idea what I just read.
Yeah.
It's a Kickstarter game.
That does seem impactful.
I mean, I'm in. I mean, it's. I'll tell you what, it's got me very intrigued. That it's like I'd want to know more. Right, so it's like, yeah,
that is my guess.
Damn it, I was gonna say that.
I gave you some room.
Well, I was just explaining the rest, but I'm trying to get a definition of what games for impact means. Because like some of these have,
that's
like,
pretty like vague.
I have an idea. I think it's for like like, specific storylines that are like making you aware of certain plights and things like that, and cultures and communities.
I guess
that aren't getting enough. Aren't getting enough recognition, or not as much as others. Like to make sure they're put on, and
a lot of
respected as they should be.
Yeah.
So I'm literally looking at that with the definite. That's my guess, which I feel like I'm right.
Yeah, there's a lot of weapon sexuals out there that aren't represented.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if they actually talk about. Let's view all categories.
It is hard to find on the site. This is really the worst. Like,
I thought this last year, and I thought they were going to fix it.
They are just atrocious on everything else.
This was the same last year, and I thought they were going to. Okay, here we go. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. It's kind of what I said.
Yeah.
So which one did you take? Boyfriend Dungeon, you asshole. All right. So the other one is Chicory. That's what I said. Life is Strange, True Colors, No Longer Home. I mean, I want to say Boyfriend Dungeon as well.
That's fine.
Okay, we're allowed to.
Yeah.
Okay. Life is Strange, True Colors.
All right.
I don't want us to guess the same because I want us to have like very different thing. It'd be fucking funny if like we both zero out.
Yes, that would be.
All right, best community support. Apex, Destiny 2. Oh, what did you pick for ongoing?
I thought we decided that was.
I mean, I could give a fuck. Yeah, I agree. I'll throw Fortnite on it as my vote, but.
All right. What were the choices again?
Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, other Genshin Impact. I'm not reading it. I'm just trying to remember it. And there's another one.
You said Call of Duty, right?
Yes, Warzone. Okay, is that what you're picking?
I'll just go Apex.
Best community support. Apex, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy Online. That was the other one. Fortnite, No Man's Sky. It's got to be Fortnite, right?
I would say No Man's Sky.
Well, is it like... I guess they have the largest community, but if by community support, like they're like... responsiveness and inclusiveness of social media activity and game updates and patches. That's what that means.
Yeah, like the game updates and patches and stuff. I think they...
I agree. Recognizing game for transparency. Yeah. Okay. That one I'll join you on. Just because I love the Sean Murphy Hello Games. I think it's an awesome story. No Man's Sky is like the story they should teach developers. That like if you fuck up or think you fuck up and fail and overpromise when you're young, keep working at it and keep trying if you really believe in it, and it will be the game you want it to be, and everybody will see that because we'll see that hard work and you can build something incredible. And that's what No Man's Sky. It went from something that was promised the world, promised the moon, I should say, gave us the earth, and then walked us to the moon every step of the way. And it fucking deserves every ounce of respect. Also, what a great message I just said.
That was an interesting metaphor. It wasn't unpoetic.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Oh my God, really? What a fucking douche award. Best mobile game presented by Verizon. No other one has that on it.
I hate that shit.
Why does the award name... I mean, I guess because they said that, but it literally has like a tag on their website presented by Verizon.
Presented by Verizon, but really by iPhone.
Yeah. All right, so we got Fantasy End, Genshin Impact, League of Legends, Marvel Future Revolution, Pokemon Unite. Mine is Genshin Impact.
Fantasia.
All right, we did it. All right.
I just love the way you pronounce that.
Fantasian?
Yeah.
All right, best VR AR. Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2. That's going to be Sage's. Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, Sniper Elite VR.
First off, excuse me.
There's a second one as well. That's what I was just gonna ask you, like, why haven't you talked to me about this?
Holy shit. Like that's
Didn't you finish the first one?
yeah, like a lot of
That's-
times. I got really good at it. I was
Yeah.
speed running a fucking VR game.
Fun fact: Sage doesn't finish any game. He's
Yeah.
been playing Last of Us for 2 years, but
Yeah. I
like
still
pretty
have
much
not
the
finished
length
that.
of this podcast, Sage has been playing Last of Us, but he's dominated. He hasn't finished It Takes Two, which probably isn't that fucking long, but
Absolutely, I expect you to die.
two.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to say the same, to be honest, because it's the first one was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Best action: Back for Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, Returnal.
What's this for?
Best action.
Oh, best action.
What is the best action?
I'm catching up with us. Our guesses.
Oh, okay. Not Chivalry 2. I love it's Back for Blood, but I'm betting. I mean, you do a lot of crazy shit in Far Cry 6, Returnal. I just keep thinking. My problem is, like, my brain, like, Deathloop is just running through shit.
Yeah.
'Cause I want to say it's Deathloop because there's so much crazy shit you can do. Far Cry, you can always do crazy stuff, but it's the same crazy stuff I could do in Far Cry 5 and Far Cry 4. Returnal is definitely very interesting because it does provide a different aspect, but that's more of like stylistic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Deathloop.
All right. I'll go Returnal.
Okay. Best action adventure. Oh, I want to say Guardians of the Galaxy, but I see Resident Evil Villages on this as well. Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank.
I also like the speed that you move after like we spend
an hour on the one.
game of the year and direction.
Well, I thought we were only
going
to talk about that, but then I realized we're doing the whole list. I was like, okay, we gotta.
We have to, right?
Yeah. You know what?
to.
Fuck it.
Have to.
I'm gonna show respect where respect is due. I love Resident
there's
Evil.
so many.
I love Resident Evil, but I'm gonna go Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for best action adventure.
All right, best action adventure. Ratchet and Clank.
Yes.
I just looked and I don't think we're going to be able to do all of these.
Is there just like a lot more?
We'll
stop.
like a third of the way down the page. It's best action adventure. I'm going to go.
We already have to at least.
I'm going to go Marvel.
Okay. All right. So
Guardians.
confirmed. Can we lock in? Those are our votes.
Yep.
So I want to say something with that. You can't change your mind though.
Okay, deal.
It would have fucking infuriated me if you picked Village and then that one, and then I would have been like, "God damn it, no!"
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, to be honest, really surprised you didn't do it. All best role playing, Cyberpunk, baby. It's coming back. I don't see how that could win. If it's the game. Are they judging it with the build like today? Because it's pretty fucking good.
I mean, even with the original build, like I am definitely picking that. Like,
yeah, I think
they went so far into it with that, like hacking people's brains and shit, and like just the
I'm
way
gonna
I've
put me
heard
down for
people
that.
talking about it.
Oh, it's
like,
phenomenal. I loved it. Yeah, put me down for it. Best fighting. Ooh, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Melty Blood. I'm just gonna. You know what? We'll just start saying the categories and just picking our favorites because it takes too long for us to go each one. We can just start going like which one. Best fighting. I'm going Demon Slayer.
All right.
Based off of nothing, by the way. I
Yeah.
just want to make that absolute.
I'm going Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
I respect that. Best family. I'm going. See, from your description, It Takes Two is not a family game. It feels like Mario Party, Super Mario 3D World, plus Mario Pokemon Snap, best family. Mario Party Superstars.
Jeez, there's so freaking many. We're not doing most anticipated. We're not doing anything more presented by.
Yeah, okay. All right, so best family, I'm doing Mario Party Superstars.
I think for that. Oh. I'm going to go Pokemon Snap.
That was the other one I was in between. WarioWare Get It Together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Best sports racing, Horizon 5.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, it's sports / racing. I read that so fast. I was like, why is FIFA in a car? Like, yeah, it's sim strategy, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, all right. Let's see. What do we have in there?
Age of Empires, Evil Genius 2, Humankind, Inscription.
Age of Empires 4. I want to say that, but
Do it.
yeah, I'll do Age of Empires 4.
All right. Best multiplayer, Back 4 Blood. It takes Two is up for best multiplayer. Knockout City, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, Valheim.
I'm gonna say It Takes Two. The multiplayer on that is like nothing I've ever seen.
It just like it sounds like it's really good for couch multiplayer. The problem is all these other ones are like like the generic multiplayer, right? Like Back 4 Blood is Left 4 Dead. I think It Takes Two will win this, but I will take Valheim. Because if it's going to win anything, I think it could win that. Because it is like a really, like the whole point of the game is multiplayer. It only exists for that. So we're skipping most anticipated.
Yeah.
It's Ragnarok. But content creator of the year, we can skip that. I don't know any of those people. Esports game. Oh, that's also presented by Grubhub. Oh, there's Valorant. Fuck that. Esports game is Valorant. I'm getting the Valorant rep in there. Esports athlete. I don't know any of these, but I've heard the name Tens. So Tens.
What'd you pick for multiplayer?
Valheim.
All right.
I said I think It Takes Two. If it's going to win anything, it's going to win that. Because the whole game is based off of multiplayer.
Yeah.
But Valheim had such a huge reaction that it's like, all right. Actually, there's only a couple. There's actually only a couple left. We could probably do the most anticipated. There's only 5 left. All right. Most anticipated. Let's do most anticipated. Elden Ring, Ragnarok.
For all the audio listeners out there, Justin is touching himself.
Yep. Damn, these are all. I anticipate all of these. So
I'm pretty sure every single one of these is going to come out.
Yeah. In February 2022. Ragnarok. Horizon was close though for me, man.
I'm going to go Zelda.
Yeah, pretty good. I think for the record, I think Elden Ring's going to win it.
All
right. Innovation and accessibility. I don't know what any of these games did. Let me see if I can pull it up on the website because I have it open over here. Give me a second. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I know I said this would be quicker, but this I don't want to.
What won last year? Do you remember?
It was an Xbox game. I don't remember what won last year. I remember it was really cool. I'm pretty sure it was an Xbox game.
I think Spider-Man was in there because it had like a lot of different colorblind and
a lot of these games do have like colorblind mode and stuff like that. I know.
Yeah, but they had all these different, like they had a whole page of accessibility for all different kinds of things. Yeah.
My guess is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, why are
Forza.
They in this?
I'm gonna guess Forza.
I'm gonna go Guardians.
Okay. Content creator. I don't know any of these people.
Yeah.
Dream.
Excellent.
It sounds like. Who are you going with?
I'll go with. I was just gonna make up a name that was equally as weird as Dream. The
The Greg?
Yeah.
That's the one I knew you were going to pick.
Okay.
I fucking knew. Best esports game? Valorant. It doesn't matter if it's true. It's what I'm saying. That's my best. Out of that list, that's my best.
Valorant. Is Child Note in there?
No.
It's so crazy because like all of these are such old freaking games except for Valorant.
Gotta pick one, baby. Find it in your heart.
Just gonna go League of Legends.
LOL. Not laugh out loud. League of Legends. All right. Esports athlete. I'm going tens. You should go simp, because you are one, you bitch.
I am gonna go Showmaker.
Okay, I figured. I'll say Atlanta FaZe for esports team. I love doing this with zero information about these people.
It's just like
I'm just like, I've slightly heard of one name. I'm like, there we go.
I also do not have the brain capacity to do all of this at the same time, especially for how fast we're getting. I feel like I'm like taking my SATs, like, trying to like hurry up against the clock where it's like, all right, you should be on page 52.
You're like, fuck.
And I'm like, shit, I'm
30
still on
minutes
page
left.
48. You know, like when they flip the page, like you're allowed to stay on the one that you're on, but like by the end of it, I was like, I have a minute to do the whole last.
Yeah, you gotta just start going faster. But if you leave questions, it's like less. You don't get as much negative points as a wrong answer as you do to a non-answer.
Yes. Best team, you said
FaZe. Right.
Oh my god, you're a better FaZe fan.
Exactly.
Let's see.
They might think they're sellouts though, because they just sell. They just sold for like $3 billion or something like that.
I'm going Team Spirit.
Love that. It smells like Teen Spirit. Best esports coach. I mean, you really need to know who these people are.
I mean, I try to be real glad game, but best esports coach definitely pushes me to my limit of what I think is ridiculous.
Hey man, coaches are helpful. I mean, it's like a coach in football. It's the same thing.
I'm sure it is. I'm just behind the times. Maybe this is me getting old.
Oh, they get intense. Yeah, the esports coach. I've played multiple games. They're like, you should be an esports coach, and I was like, no, it's okay, because I'm like basically directing the traffic.
Also, I am going silent.
That's what I was gonna do.
Sorry, bitch.
Wait, you've picked my same answer before, so maybe I'll just run it back. Let's double down on silent. That's honestly who I was going to pick.
All right, so just for everyone out there, because like I don't think anyone knows, Arot, Silent, Gaziev,
Brad,
Andre, Solhov, Andre Blade, Hodorowski, but it's B1AD3 Blade. My favorite, James Crowder.
It's just his last name.
And Kim Koma Jongyun.
Yeah. What's the best esport event? League of Legends World Championship, PGL.
Did you pick an esports coach?
I told you I'm going silent.
Okay.
Do you really want me to pick a different one?
No. I don't give a shit. Again, it's esports coach. I feel like people asking you to be an esports coach was about the same level of like prestige as when someone said I should be a professional kickball pitcher. I'm like, no, I'm not traveling to play kickball.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna switch my coach to Blade.
That's because you weren't pronouncing it right before I said it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it said Brad. And it makes me think of Wesley Snipes, and I'm like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, best esports event. Legal, and I wanted to have different ones just so we can have a diverse like winner loser in this. We should be forced to pick different answers.
Okay.
So I think some of the ones that we have the same, we have to change. All right, best esports event: League of Legends World Championship, PGL, PUBG, International, and Valorant. That would have been
What's PGL?
We should have done one after another. So that way, it's like my turn to pick first, your turn. So you have to think about it like strategically. If we can each like, if I pick somebody, it takes them off the board for you. You know what I mean? So like that way, it's like whatever. It doesn't matter now. But PGL is a
maybe next year we'll get this right.
Pro gaming league. I'm pretty sure the PGL is the soccer one. I also could be completely wrong. Yeah, that's Counter-Strike.
All right, you can go first.
League of Legends World Championship.
Yeah, shit.
I just realized how annoying that must have been to our listeners when I was just doing it. My bad.
There are a couple things that might be annoying to our listeners. We've made a lot of weird noises.
Yeah, we've been all over the place. I think we're just like, it's been a long fucking day, dude. I got on the train at like 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I went for a run this morning.
Oh my God.
Gave me a good boost of energy the first half of the day, but I am dead right now. I am going to go Valorant Champions Tour Stage 2.
Masters.
And it's better than Stage 1.
Yeah, it is. That's just a fact. All right. We can see which ones we both picked first. We both agreed on, and we'll just decide who's going to take what.
All right. Backtracking.
I was going to say we could do that outside of the episode. You want to do it right now?
Oh, no. We could do it outside the episode.
Because you were saying this how much of it.
I mean, racing, we both said Forza. Or racing and sports.
Wait. Well,
racing and sports.
So who picked? So one of us can get it for one can get it for the other.
I'll take Forza for this.
No. There's two categories you just mentioned.
I thought it was one. Isn't that what you said that it was?
It's best. Hold on. Didn't you just say it's best racing?
Yeah, sports racing is one category.
Oh, right. I thought you said it was two categories, and we both. Okay.
Don't even play like you're not going to pick Hot Wheels.
Well, I mean, okay. Forza's definitely winning this award, so
right,
without fine,
you
fine,
can
no,
have
no.
Forza.
No. You can keep Forza because I'm keeping Deathloop for Game of the Year, and you're gonna have to change it.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll go to the other contender as FIFA.
Okay.
Because it's sports racing. That is the only sports game that's on there, except that's non-racing.
Also, role playing. We both said 2077. I was very adamant about that, and you hopped on later, so you have to choose another one for that.
I don't know if that's true, but you did talk about it first. But I've played it.
You were like, I don't know. I think.
Well, if they're gonna take the bugs in, I mean, I do agree that it's amazing. Let's go.
This is definitely more fun.
Well, I wish it is more fun. I wish I would have said this when we started, because it kind of like.
We'll get it next year. We'll finally hone in on
Actually, you know
how
what?
we're
No,
supposed to
fuck
do
that.
this.
Because you got Forza for the last one.
Yeah, and you get to pick Game of the Year. I'll gladly trade you.
To a point. Okay. Well, I've lost the thing where. All right, fine. I will do this, but I'm keeping I Expect You to Die 2 for VR. I'll do.
All right, deal.
I'll do. I just lost where I was. Scarlet Nexus.
Scarlet Nexus.
I love how we're like trading cards. You know what's funny as shit? All right, I will not give you shit. Here's the problem. Sage is in a win-win scenario because if Sage gets more right than me, he literally wins. But if Sage doesn't get more right than me, he gets exactly what everybody expects.
Yeah.
If I get everything right,
That's
survive.
what happens when you insist on being Goliath.
I survive the day. If Sage gets it more right, I get it's like goes way down.
So my VR.
This would be like us doing the Oscars and me beating you in the Oscars. That's what we should even this out with doing Oscar picks.
My VR and Game of the Year are both Resident Evil.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, by the way, that silence was just pure seething. I don't know if you could hear that hiss.
Yeah, you didn't. Your audio didn't just cut out. I just did not know how to. Motherfucker! All right, whatever. Fuck it.
And I think that is all of the things that we agreed upon.
And you know what sucks is I like Resident Evil 4. I was like legitimately could do it. That was it.
I think that's it. Yep.
All right. Cool. Cool. All right. I'll do a quick trivia.
Oh God, are we really going to subject the people to that? No, we're already like an hour and a half. We need to wrap this up.
How many categories did Last of Us 2 sweep last year?
8.
7. There you go. That was your trivia. Game of the Year is 20. We had to get it in. I wanted to get it. And the other big winners, who was the second and third place winners of last year? We'll take 2 trivia questions.
Hades and
that is correct.
Spider-Man?
Hades and Animal Crossing.
There we go.
Also, Ghost of Tsushima was in there, and so was Among Us.
See, that is like a freaking year. And that's how 2022 is going to be.
Last of Us, 2020 was like, that was behemoth. It was Last of Us Part 2, Hades, Animal Crossing, Ghost of Tsushima, and Among Us, innovative. But Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Tsushima, AC.
But also,
Hades.
like, looking back, holy shit.
Huge,
like, the fact that that's when the whole world went into quarantine.
Yeah,
and
hell of a gaming year.
Those games to select from. That's amazing. And you like kind of are pushing
really keeps you busy.
You're pushing Among Us off, but like holy shit, did that
that saved a ton of people. It was massive for the mobile game.
And it was ongoing.
Yeah.
Because it didn't debut that year.
How was it not? Yeah, I know, that's right. Yeah. And they surprised it's not ongoing this year. It must have like really fallen off. But
yeah, I don't think it has the streamer support like it did before.
But you're right, 2022. February 2022 is going to be Game of the Awards.
Yeah.
Because there's like 20 games. But yeah, we got Ragnarok. You got Elder Ring, Ragnarok, Starfield, Forbidden West, fucking probably Zelda, the Breath of the Wild 2. There's so much shit. You're right. 2022 is good. Not to take anything away from 2021, but this is clear like a.
I do also want to call out Alexandra Del Rosario, the author of this Deadline article. Terribly formatted.
So you want to say you're calling him out not for like a shout out like positive. It's a negative shout.
Yeah. All you had to do was put lists of things in order, and it looks
could you?
It looks like a third grader's PowerPoint. There's like some of them don't have breaks between the different things. Some of them are like 3 categories grouped together without the category title bolded. Like reading this thing is tough.
Yeah.
That being said, thank you for putting it together because no one wants to use the actual Game Awards site.
Last one, just because your favorite. How many awards was It Takes Two nominated for?
6.
5. Pretty close up. Yeah. The way closer than I thought you were gonna be. And just to confirm, it's gonna be broadcast in 4K UHD, HDR again this year, which they did last year, which they were one few broadcasts were not doing. That's still relatively kind of new to be broadcasting in that. So they are broadcasting in that again this year. we'll talk about it as we get closer. But they are having the full Game Awards orchestra live on stage. It's at the Microsoft Theater. So remember last year, he was like on a stage at all virtual.
Yeah.
They're bringing it's because
Are they gonna have an audience?
It does not say they're having the live audience, but they will have musical performances. They will have the full live orchestra will be in the theater. And it is the Microsoft Theater, so that makes me think they might have a live audience and I think people will actually get their awards if they choose to. I'm sure it's like one of those things where it's like if you still feel comfortable being virtual, be virtual.
Yeah.
The Game Awards are set to return live in-person ceremony, Microsoft Theater, downtown Los Angeles. It was awesome last year. This is
wild.
This is our Oscars. Let's fucking go. Keep gaming. Be glad about it. Fucking this episode. You're welcome. It was like back to the old school ones.
Yeah.
This is long as shit.
Goodbye.
Bye. I can't.
I did like a face because I have to pick a thumbnail.